My parents said if you quit nursing school, you'll never see another dime. So I kind of went for glassblowing and I found UTA and I transferred here. So they have a glassblowing program that I could pursue learning how to blow glass in. I feel like most young people are asked what they want to be when they grow up, and if you have someone in your life that's influential, that makes money, that seems happy, you can just be what they're going to be. So my mom is influential, happy, had money, traveled, so I thought, oh, I'll be a nurse, that's what she is. I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to be, but I knew when I saw glass, I knew I wanted to dedicate my life to working the material.
Yeah, it's kind of like every week when I have my blow slot, it's kind of like a little mini therapy session. Because I can't really think of a better way to be completely in the moment. And I think that's a lot of what life, like you're trying to achieve, or what's good about life is being in the moment, finding the moment, and really just sinking into it. And glass blowing is great for that because all of your attention has to be with the glass. And you're not thinking of other things, you're thinking about what you're making. So it's just nice to, it's good for your soul to make something and put it out in the world, but also to just be right there in that moment.
After my second semester at UTA, I got an internship at a place called Wheaton Arts in New Jersey, and I started working with artists and people in the glass community, and we were doing huge projects. And I got my first $1,000 check, and I thought I was interning, and when I saw that kind of money, I thought, man, this is a good paying gig. And you do have to work hard, but I liked the thought of making money off doing something I love. I had a mentor there also named Hank Adams that kind of said, you know, you're in this now, you're submerged in the art world, you're blowing glass with people that have been doing it for 20 years. You're not really gonna learn as much in a BFA program because they're not teaching as much technical skill as they are teaching art making and concept. So I thought, man, he told me the BFA program would always be there when I got back, and now I'm back 10 years later, and I'm glad I stayed where I was submerged in the glass world.
There's such a big glass community that I've made a lot of friends with over the years, and they're really good. They're like professional, they do it every day. I would be a little bit hesitant to like blow glass in front of them or with them.
I think glass blowing as a whole is thrilling. I think lighting up the glory hole is thrilling. I think opening the furnace door and seeing a pool of molten glass is thrilling. I think taking a gather, it never gets old to me. Popping a bubble, all these things like make me feel so good. And like, I have never found anything in life that I love more than glass. And like, I love my family, I love my dog, but glass is beyond anything. It's just, it keeps you learning, it keeps you moving, it keeps you trying harder. I feel like people that stick with glass is because they want to be a better person, and it's their only thing they found to help them level up. So once they make the next best thing, I've never felt this good about anything. Even when I recently just did a neon installation and show, I've never felt that good in my entire life. Like people looking at my lights and saying, this is magical. And it's like, wow, I feel the same way. I'm so glad someone gets to see my thing and feel that way. So I think as a maker and a glass blower, I don't think any other medium is like this. And then it's so fragile. So you can have this thing done, made, ready to go, and someone can knock it off the counter, or someone purchased one of my neon pieces and they broke it, and it's just kind of like it's this thing that that is unknown, and you never know how long it's actually going to last because someone can break it. So I love the fragility, and I love the strength, and I love that it pushes me to be better.
I plan to have glass in my life forever because I love the medium. I love exploring all parts of the glass medium, and the glass community is really strong. Unlike, the other trades and arts they have their communities, but the glass community is really special because we have to help each other when we make our art. So, yes, glass will always be in my life. I don't know if I will necessarily make a career off of it, but it will be a passion of mine.
Once you become a glassblower, I don't think you ever stop. I make a living on glass, and I would hate to think of life without glass. I see the rest of my life with glass, and I'm actually now kind of transitioning into neon and sign making because I see even more money in that. So now I found this other medium within my medium that I can't get enough of. And so, yeah, I want to be in the sign making industry, and I want to be part of the art movement that's happening with neon right now. I haven't had like severe injuries from glass blowing.
Really not?
Yeah, like burns, but even my fingertips are at a point where I can touch something over 100 degrees and it doesn't feel like it would for someone else. So your body just becomes accustomed, like any person in their work, their body becomes, it's like adapting to this new environment of like heat, because some people ask, how do you take the heat? And I don't think we ever get used to it. I just think it's an afterthought. I think we love what we're doing so much, the heat isn't now a factor. So I think you just learn how to kind of deal with those things. But if you listen to your instructors and who's teaching you, most of any injury would come from metal. Glass holds moisture, so it doesn't stick to you. Metal doesn't, so when you touch something hot, it sticks to you. So any injury would come from something metal more than I think glass, unless you actually cut your hand. But again, maybe put on gloves, or you learn ways. Even I wear long sleeves so I could grab something hot if I had to. I like to protect my skin. Some people wear short sleeves and they just have a higher pain tolerance, I think. Yeah.
No, it's my happy place. There is always when I'm about to spin out something, or when it's it's really nice and I don't want to mess it up, there's a little bit of adrenaline that I feel. I know my heart rate probably goes up, but it's kind of like when you're playing sports or something. It's the same feeling probably of fight or flight, that adrenaline.
Do you like feeling that adrenaline?
It's okay. I probably don't love it. I'm such a chill guy, but I put up with it. Some other people probably love it. The tools become an extension of me. When I'm playing video games, the character becomes an extension of me. You get out of reality for a little bit, and it turns into a little game. We're playing a little game here, and when we get in the box, that's you beat the game.
Yeah.
Every time you come back into the hot shop, you unload the annealer, it's what's it look like? It's a surprise. You don't really know what it's gonna look like. Well, that's what I love about glass. Is it's like a never-ending spiral of I will always be learning about glass. Glass is always going to be teaching me new things, and it's endless experiments, endless color combinations, endless forms to conquer. It's just such a fascinating material. because of all of its weird properties of like molten, hot, transparent, you know, so many interesting things you can do with it. Yeah, that's what I try to do. Just get as much out of the medium as I can.
In the future with glass, I want to continue to make money. I want to continue to have nice things. I want to continue to eat good food. I want to continue to sweat and work hard. I want to be a neon artist, and with glass blowing, I've never considered myself an artist. I've always considered myself a craftsman and a production worker, and when I make a cup and it's for someone to drink out of, I don't consider that art. So when I started bending neon and making neon, I thought, man, like I could be in this next group of people that is making art from something that was just used for advertisement and signs. So yeah, I see lots to come with my neon career. I mean, there's so much money involved in lighting, and LED is never going to reach the caliber that neon will. Neon will pull someone off the highway and walk into a restaurant. LED is going to crap out. It's going to go into a landfill. It's going to be bad for the environment. Glass isn't that way. I have known some people that retire from glass and then they're back in studios doing collaborations and different things. I don't think anyone that loves glass and does it for a living ever actually stops doing it. I think they take breaks, and I think their body as they get older, just like anyone's, deteriorates. But I don't think if you offer up a glass blowing slot that they would turn it away. I mean, it's such a thrill. There's nothing that matches the feeling of creating something. And then just the fact it has to then anneal and come down in an oven, you don't get the instant gratification. So you work really hard on these pieces and you might not even see them for a couple days. So it's this constant wondering of how does it look? How can I be better? What's next? And I've never found anything that does that for me. So I know I'll be a glass maker forever.
What's a real artist?
There's no such thing. It's just people creating things that make them happy, and really, it's shit.
Is there a price on art?
Yeah, and most people try to oversell their work, and it's not good, and they try to get too much money for it. I am pretty anti-art. It's bad stuff. People think it's good stuff. It's not. It's all a scam. It's a game that people play, and if you're a good writer, you can play the game. If you make slightly decent stuff, you can play the game. If you have stories to tell, you can play the game. You don't actually have to make nice stuff to be called an artist.
Everything's staying.
I know, I'm kidding, but I'm serious. I'm not that impressed by art. I like Josh's art. You could go film some of that stuff. That's good to me. But there's artists that, you know, can shit on a pedestal and have a great story. So it's in a gallery. So I like functional product. I like bowls, cups, lights, things you can use at home. To me, I'm more into the craft side of glass blowing than the art side of glass blowing. Josh is an artist. I'm a craftsman. Oh, Ruby! Ruby, you're gonna be famous. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. This is Ruby. This is the shop dog. She's a really good girl.